Greetings everybody and welcome on my journey to the regional in Frankfurt last week. It was my first regional ever, so I thought I'd take you a little bit with me and show you around a little bit and show you what I have experienced so far. As you can see on my travel day, it was amazing weather. It kept the whole time like this. I think on day one of the regional was a little bit rain, but not too much. It was the whole weekend pretty nice weather. I can't complain, to be honest. Let's talk about a little bit about the Pokemon aspect. So I went there with a Raging Bolt Noctowl build. I know it's not the best meta deck, but in the last time when I was able to play, this was the deck I felt most comfortable with, and I think this is the most important thing when you go somewhere, because I read somewhere, was it Reddit or was it Twitter, I don't know where, but somebody said he rather plays with a A-tier deck instead of an S-tier deck when you're more comfortable with the A-tier deck instead of the S-tier deck, because you just need a flow, and that's why I chose this. I guess I could have built my deck a little bit better around, but since this was my first regional, I wasn't really knowing how to do this. So now we are here in Frankfurt. My journey day one is over. We are now on day one of the regional Frankfurt train station. Not a very nice place, especially if you go out, but I was very glad that I just had to go from the station to the underground and from there to the fair. This is the entrance to the fair, and here you can see all the Pokemon players marching towards this staircase. Down the staircase you could get your wristband you needed to. Here I already had my wristband, and then I went to the big hall. And now we are heading to the big hall where all of the competitions and all the side events, I'm going to talk about the side events later, went on. I had a guy who was last year or this year at the EUYC in London, and he said that the hall here was even bigger than the EUYC. We had, I think, 2,600 participants. As you can see here, it was pretty packed. And here we are on my way to my first match. My first match actually was against Gardevoir, which I managed how to get a tie. I was very surprised, to be honest, but from there it just went down. After that I played against Frostlass, that was nasty. Then I played against Garchomp, which was surprisingly good. With the whole 400 HP, I had some problems to manage to get around that. So yeah, that's why things went not so good. After that I had a match against Charizard, also lost. And my last match before I dropped was against Dragapult, and I won that. But that I was thinking about continuing to play, but a friend of mine told me then about the side events, so that's why I dropped. Because and to be honest, I was a little bit frustrated. I thought I could play a little bit better on the tournament, but after my first win, after my second loss, I was like, I just want my only win in the regional, and then I'm fine. And a little funny story, on my site, on the site Arcade9 Labs, they actually listed me as a friend. So my first opponent, who also came from France, was a little bit surprised that I'm a German. Yeah, so after a 1-3-1, I think officially it was a 1-4-1 because I dropped while round 6. That's why my opponent got a free win. Good for him. I dropped and I made here as you can see, just wandering and roaming around, capturing the whole thing a little bit here. You can see here's the hive with all the judges. And on the left side we have the blue tables for the TCG, and on the right side now we have the yellow tables for the side events. And let's talk a little bit about the side events. So you can also go to those regionals as a spectator, so you don't have to compete in the whole thing, or I guess for parents it's also a thing. And then you can just go a little bit on the side events, gain some points, because if you participate in those side events you get some points. I've got prize points. It's called prize points, exactly. And then you can exchange them for all kinds of stuff: booster, caps, plushies, big plushies, backpacks. You can actually see the featured match. At this moment there was only a TCG match. That's why they have on all 3 screens. Normally you have left VCG, in the middle you have TCG, and right you have Pokemon Go. Yeah, and you can see how many people, 2,600 roundabout, but you can see how many people there are actually playing. It's to be honest, it's crazy to see all that thing just happened. Here we have a very good shot, and this is just a fraction of it. As you can see, this is just one little area. Then we have another TCG area on the left, on the right. So there are so many people just playing, and I'm not even covering the VCG area, which is in the back, in the front. It depends on how you see it. But TCG was clearly the biggest part of that whole regional. I can't say 4 times, maybe, at least. So, but let's go back to the side events. That's what I want to talk about, because it's not just about the tournament, because here we can see now the prize wall coming up. We have some booster packs there, we have plushies there, we have big plushies and backpacks and official Pokemon sleeves and whatnot. And if you go to one of these side events, you gain prize points. You get 15 per participant, and some of them they have if you win you get some more, the booster battle, where you purchase 1 booster pack and you can play it 1 against 1, or you can have a 4 round with that, and if you win it you get 30 points more. 1 booster pack is actually just 15 points, some of them 20 points. I think that's still a good price. Games you can play Unite, there was an emulator, there was a Super Nintendo with the converter for Game Boy Color games. And yes, and one thing I really wanted to talk about is Epic Splash. Epic Splash, I said it in my last video, it was dumb, it was wacky, you can even call it ridiculous, but it was amazing. Because you have so many wacky cards, very old cards as well, Gambler, Blaine's Gamble, Team Rocket's Handiwork. It's so much coin flips. It's ridiculous, yes, but it's a hell of fun. It's a hell of fun, and it's actually just €5 and you get the 15 points. So you pay €5 for playing this, you get the deck actually there, and then you get the points and you can exchange for a booster. Lovely. And if you just want to hang around a little bit, they have puzzles, they have stuff to draw for you, for the little kids, for bigger, they have a lot of stuff to do. And here we are watching the TCG final. Funny thing, the guys in front of us happen to be the entourage of the guy who actually won it. So yeah, just imagine you're traveling from Belgium to Frankfurt, which is, I think it's a good amount of hours to travel. It's not too much, not too, well, it can always be less. But as you can see here, the hall is mostly empty. You can see it compared to the other videos what was going on there. It is nothing here. And on the left you can see the regional sign, so this is where all happened. And now we are back in Freiburg actually. For didn't make so much videos on my way back because the way back was so freaking exhausting. Yes. So what are my final thoughts on the regional in Frankfurt? First of all, I have to say that the organization was great. For me, I had a very good experience. Everything went very smooth, very fast, which reduces the stress level. The only stress you can have is getting from one table to another, but after time you find your ways through this maze. And another thing I can tell you is listen to the announcement through the speakers and listen carefully, because I met this guy, which I met 2 weeks ago at the Swiss Cup. I also been there, and we thought there was a lunch break after round 3, but actually the lunch break was only for seniors and juniors. So we went relax a little bit, and then we found out, oops, round 4 is coming. So yeah, listen closely. This is all that's very important, and don't be too try hard, like as I said, if you are not having a good day, just drop, go some side events, farm some points, get some boosters, get some plushies, and if you really want to know, look for that big Marib. It's 1,200 points. Make your calculations. If you make Epic Splash for 15 points, think about it. But it's about just being there. I think it's, of course, if you really want to, but if you really want to go in the top whatever, you prepare your deck way better than I did, because let's be real, I was pretty ill prepared. But if you just want some casual games, of course, it can be a little bit hard. A whole tournament day is very long, and I have to say, I now really understand how hard and exhausting this can be. I sat there watching the final and I realized, damn, those people are playing the game for 2 days straight now. 8 hours on one day, just Pokemon, like a job. This is like a job, and I know after some challenges which went longer, my head was smoking completely, and a challenge is only 1 day or a cup or whatever. But this is 2 days, so it can be hard, but if you want to be there, you have to get used to it. And I hope in my next regional I will have a better time. I will try to be better prepared. Let's see, because I know one of my friends, he was 527 or what, and he still got some points. So where you saw the price roll. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it so far. It was a long. Write me in the comments if you ever have been to a regional before and what was your experience. And now you can just see the little light show in the town I live, and hopefully a very good view of the plaza. A really beautiful town here. So yeah, that's all about my regional experience. And if you made it that far, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.